Good news, everyone. This is Wolfotech coming directly to you through the power of the internet via the YouTube video sharing platform. And today, I will also I'll do a review of Chapter 3 of the Phantom Empire. The episode or chapter is called The Lightning Chamber. And I'll shoot through this really quick. It's 20 minutes long. It's black and white. There's music, there's comedy, there's drama, there's action. It's a sci-fi cowboy movie. Uh, it's all cool stuff. However, I will say that the audio is done well, the camera work is done very well, uh, the acting is done very well, but yeah, the effects are also done very well as well. But here's the problem. As far as the story is concerned, compared to the first two chapters, you should check my previous video. Uh, this chapter is clearly a situation where they wanted to convey a few important plot elements at this point in the story, and there's a point A and a point B, and there's a little bit of comedy thrown in there, but it's not terribly well thought out or written. It's hard to say how to do it better exactly, but as far as the story is concerned, it is not that good. There's a lot of plot. There's a lot of, let's just say, there's first and foremost the need to cover some plot points in here, and then there's some logic holes that kind of stick out. It's not as good as the first chapter and the second chapter. I'm gonna have to say that quite seriously. There's some good moments in chapter 3, the Lightning Chamber, but it's definitely not as good as chapter 1 and chapter 2. If you want to know how good you think I think of chapter 1 and chapter 2, there will be a link in the description below, or you could just simply go to my channel and find in the Phantom Empire the Singing Cowboy chapter 1 and chapter 2, the Thunder Riders. But as far as this chapter is concerned, there is a lot of questionable decisions as far as the story is concerned, and the writing. The acting is done very well. It's just one of those moments where the actors are doing the best they can do, but a lot of the story elements are just not that good. And then there's some logic and questionable decisions and actions in that have been picked out in the story. It's just, I'm like, this is not the best chapter so far. This so far seems to be, of the first three, the weakest chapter of the three. Let's see if the other chapters bring it up a notch. I got a feeling that there was some important plot elements that they wanted to convey in this chapter. They got them out there. Not the best way possible. Some of them are well done well enough, but that leaves all the other stuff around it that is not nearly as good. Yeah. There is just a lot of questions. This is a no spoilers review. It's if you're just watching chapter 3, the Lightning Chamber, you will, if you watch chapter 1, chapter 2, and then you watch chapter 3, there is a lot of dumb exposition where they tell you something. Again, if you've seen for chapter 1 and chapter 2, it's just dumb plot explanation, okay? And then there is also some odd, dumb moments in the story. There's also a little comedic act in the middle of it that starts out good and then devolves from there. So it was the little comedic act between Oscar and Pete starts good and then ends at the bottom of the hill. So it's just, and also that also happens to occur or buttressing one of the questionable, okay, A, how that happened, and B, how did that happen? Because okay, this chapter is not terribly good compared to chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 is like, oh my goodness, way better than this. Chapter 2 is still way better than this. Chapter 3 is so far the weakest chapter. It's a shortfall on the chapter. Let's see what the next chapter holds. The next chapter will be, I had to grab the little booklet out. By the way, you can get this movie serial in this collection or in a standalone DVD, okay? This is by Mill Creek. It's actually a movie serial, not TV, so it's okay. But the next chapter of the Phantom Empire is called the Phantom Broadcast. Let's hope the Phantom Broadcast is better than the Lightning Chamber. If this entire movie serial turns into being basically like the Lightning Chamber, I'm going to struggle through this because it's just so much potential, but it's just not clicking along. And there's good moments in the Lightning Chamber, but it's 20 minutes. There's not that much. There's obviously they had a point A and they had a point B and they had to fill between the two, and they didn't do the fill out quite well enough. There's some smart moments. I'm not joking. There is, I can't explain it. It makes sense, but then you kind of like stop and think about it for a moment. It's like, okay, yeah, I see how that happened because you did a shit job the first time in pointing at character, and then you have that dumb idea, and okay, it's just not that good. Okay, there's good moments, there's just not enough of them, and the bad moments are overcoming the good moments in the Lightning Chamber. There. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Also, go ahead and like or dislike this video. I don't care if you hit a dislike. If you hit dislike, that just tells me I need to work more on these. This is, after all, a no spoilers video. But I'm just saying that I personally don't think this is the best chapter so far. This is actually the worst chapter so far. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are way better than this. Let's see what Chapter 4 has. And then also, please leave some feedback below, like in the comment section, or suggestions, like you want me to cover South Park or The Simpsons or something else like that. I will continue through with this and all the way to the end, and I'll do a final wrap-up review, but no, that's going to ruin it. I will basically just do I'll cover all the 12 chapters, and I'll jump into the next set of movie serials, as well as movies. Movies on Monday, movie serials on Wednesday. Sometimes I'll be slightly late on Monday or Wednesday, but I'll try to get out at least one video on each of those days. Thank you very much. So long, and thanks for all the fish.